Three, two, one. Would you die for me? No, that's too easy. Would you watch bad movies for me? Hey everyone, we're Nefarious Reels. I'm Ninjedi.
And I'm Cole.
Welcome back. Or at least you better be coming back from all the other episodes you watched, you scum. But we watch bad movies. We watched two of them. And we're gonna talk about one of them right now.
Let's go, Bolero.
Let's go. Yeah, that the iconic catchphrase of the movie. But I had
It's
the first choice. I had the retro pick, and I chose 1980 something, 84, I think. Yeah, 1984's
84.
Bolero by John Derek, starring Bo Derek. And I picked them because Valentine's Day is gonna come and go, and I want to pick a romance movie. And we talked about Ghost Can't Do It before on the podcast way back in episode 3. That's probably about like 100 episodes ago. So, I thought now would be a good time to catch up on our good pal, John Derek.
okay.
Anyway, so the film Bolero is about our main lead, Bo Derek, because I don't remember her character's name, because I just think of her as Bo Derek.
All I
And
just remember she goes by Mac in the movie. There's like a different name, but she goes by Mac though.
right. And she just graduated from a really prestigious college, and she decides that as a celebration, she should travel out and lose her virginity, and that's half the plot of the movie, because the second half is completely different. But we'll talk about that one when we get to it. Cole, what did you think of Bolero?
Well, uh I think I like Ghosts Can't Do It a bit more than this one, I will say.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I think this film was way better than Ghost Can't Do It.
I
But
mean,
then
this one
again,
just felt more boring for me, but then again, both of them were pretty boring to be honest.
and to be fair, you have Ghost Can't Do It ranked higher than I do on our or each
Yeah,
of our
that's true.
individuals lists.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I thought this was funnier, or at least it was more straightforward. We didn't deviate from like going to Hong Kong for like 20 minutes in like the middle of the movie.
But she had to run the business in that one.
Yeah, they had to go run the business all of a sudden out of nowhere. But no, in this one, she just graduates from college, and she's like, Kat, her best friend, is like, we need to go lose our virginities. We gotta have a great time out now that we're graduating from college. And it's like, instead of going to like just any like random beach, let's go to the Sahara Desert so we can hook up with a sheik, because they just watched a movie where when they're in the desert. Well, that black and white movie, which I don't know what it was.
Oh yeah, that one. Some like silent film. I don't know what it was exactly, but it gave me Lawrence of Arabia vibes.
Yeah, I haven't seen Lawrence of Arabia. I just was assuming this must be it. This is the desert movie.
Yep, it's the desert movie.
Yeah, but she graduates and she runs outside the front of the school naked as like a power play. Like, haha, I'm graduated. You can't do anything about it now. Woohoo! I'm gonna frolic through the flowers naked. And we get one of funnier moments where basically the one guy drives up and he's like the attorney of her father's estate, and it cuts some of the car, and when it cuts and she talks to her driver Cotton, and then when it comes
Yep.
back to the attorney, he's just like wearing a kilt, like out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, he was.
It was like this comedic
She was
cut,
like, "That's an interesting thing he's wearing," or whatever she said.
and it just cuts him like it's like it has the most perfect comedic timing because you don't expect it. It's funny. It's funny, Cole.
Oh, it's supposed to
Laugh.
be funny.
I don't think it was meant to be
Ha ha
funny,
ha ha.
but that's what I got out of it.
Yeah, because I didn't really find it that funny.
You didn't find this movie funny? Well, you're wrong and dumb and stupid.
Oh, okay.
You didn't like a movie I kind of liked, so that means you're wrong. But this film's kind of split. There's 3 sections to the film. We have section 1, which is the chic phase. Then we have the matador phase, and then we got my dick don't work phase. And those are 3 different phases. So we'll just split this film discussion into those 3 different parts. It's part
Okay.
one, the Sheik phase, where they go to Sahara, so that way Bo Derek can bang a Sheik, the whitest Sheik ever known.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was just looking at something. Yeah, the whitest chic and
I was. It is explained in story that his like mom was English and he's only really ever been to the Sahara like 3 times, which I kind of wish they never explained that. That part of me just want to be like, yeah, this guy's totally a sheik from the Sahara. Totally,
yeah,
guys, come on.
but then he reveals, actually, I'm not really,
Well,
because he said something about like being like a poet or something too.
he's a poet, and like his
Yeah.
his like his father's like a sheik that married his mom. Spoiler alert, by force, as we learn later in the film. But basically, he hooks up with Bo Derek, and they're gonna do it. They fly in a
Yeah.
plane, and I just want to know, it's something that I think this film really has. It has some like really good locations, and there's clearly a lot of effort went into. Kind of feel like all the locations and shots and stuff. Like they actually like get a plane to like, and they actually fly it around, have it fly low and stuff. Got all these extras running around.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see that,
Yeah, and I
especially
see.
with some of the more deserty parts and, well, I mean, when they kind of go by Spain too, and you get that. I know it's a little later, but those scenes where it's like the matador bull
Yeah, like that's an actual bull chasing
cage,
a
and
guy
then
on a horse.
yep.
They go all the way up in the mountains too, as well. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
See, there was at least some good things about the movie. I got you there.
Yeah, I mean, a movie was made.
A movie was made.
I mean, you can say that about any of the movies you've talked about too. So
Yeah, but this one had like a little more effort put into it. It doesn't feel like I want to go to a resort. Let's go to a resort for most of our movie.
yeah, they at least try to diversify where they were going, and they weren't exactly,
Until we get around
staying in
to
like
the
the same spot, and then just like change the location with like a few things, then make it go, oh, it's different now.
at least until we get to the my dick don't work part of the movie where it kind of it just takes place in the mansion. But hey, 2/3 of the movie, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But she goes and she has a whole thing where it's like, I'm gonna give you the greatest gift of all, my virginity. And then when they go off on their adventure where they go on the plane to fly to his tent or something, she eventually goes back to her friend Kat, because even though I don't remember Bo Derek's name, I remember the name of her friend and her driver slash older companion Cotton. And she's just like, oh, it was like exotic and I wanted her to sweep me on my seat like in the movie, but the horse just wouldn't go the right way. And there's a scene that got a laugh out of me when they're in the tent and then there's the belly dancers, they're doing the belly movement, and then it just cuts to Bo Derek being like, oh my god, witchcraft. That was goofy. And then it got a little weird because then she started doing the belly dancing. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that was also weird. Well, it was like, and the camera's like more focused like on her belly as it was moving, and it feels weird too, because sometimes I think about when John Derek's behind the screen, like, what is he doing? Is he like forgetting to maybe move the shot, or is he like doing something
Oh, you think he's
else? If you know what
masturbating?
I mean. Yep, that's what I'm thinking.
It's okay, Cole. We're in an adult show. You can say masturbating, blowing the load,
Jerking off.
rolling dice under the table. But then later, when they're gonna
Yeah.
do it, the sheik gets high, pours a bunch of honey and all over Bo Derek, and then fucking Bo Derek keeps fucking slamming her stomach directly into the sheik's face as he's trying to be sexy. It was like, bam, bam, bam. And then the sheik fucking dies just on the spot.
Oh, I thought he just passed out.
Well, yeah, he passed out. That was the joke I was making.
Oh,
That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh fuck, the sheik just instantly died on like
that
sight.
actually would be hilarious. Just death by stomach punch.
He just dies because it turns out he's allergic to honey. He was like testing the theory if it's sex is more appealing if you're about to die, but he didn't time it right. But
Mm.
no, he falls asleep and then Bojack returns and he's like, yeah, fuck this place. This sucks. It's rough. It's rough, coarse, and
irritating, and it gets
gets
everywhere.
everywhere. And she just goes, let's just like go to Spain. And Kat's like, well, we can't go to Spain. I'm a Spaniard. And it's like, okay, we just won't go to Barcelona then, but we're going to Spain anyway. And then we get to our Matador Spain Matador phase because she runs into the next hunka burn love, which is this Matador guy. But he doesn't kill or hurt the bulls. He just rides around them on his horse and throws sticks at their backs or something.
Basically, kind of lame.
It is pretty lame. In fact, I feel like this second stretch here is kind of the boring part. Like I think Bolero has a really good like the chic phase, funny. My dick don't work phase, kind of funny too. And then the middle phase kind of like, oh, here's another guy, and he kind of is worse than the chic, but that's the one Bo Derek ends up falling for in the movie
Mm-hmm.
because
Okay.
well, because what happens is, they like have their little, oh, we lock eyes and we have feelings for each other. And he invites her to dinner where he never really talks to her. And then apparently he's having sex with like a gypsy while a 13-year-old gypsy wants to hook up with him. And that's really fucking weird. And then
Yeah, a
eventually
little odd.
they just like buy like his winery for like a business thing and then they just end up like hooking up. Which is, I guess Bo Derek's just into fucking, I don't know, criminals, I guess. Or like a bunch of weirdos.
I would say mostly weirdos.
Though,
Weirdos and sketchy people.
but then again, in the film, there is that one great scene where she throws a sheet over her head, pretends to be a ghost, foreshadowing what's to come later on in her film career. Because guess what she's in 5 years later after this movie?
Ghost
Ghost
can't do
can't
it.
do it, baby.
Unbelievable. Shared universe
Yep.
confirmed.
The John Derek cinematic universe. It's all connected, baby. Or the Bo Derek cinematic universe. Every film with Bo Derek is just she kills off her lover and moves on to the next one. She's a Black Widow. But yeah, eventually Bo Derek gets the Matador guy to fall in love with her, and but unfortunately, during one of the Matador events he's at, the bull manages to catch up to him and fucking spears him like right in the dick, and now his dick don't work, which is
Shame.
it's really weird because you think, oh, he gets injured, he can't have sex anymore, and now they're gonna fall really in love now because they're gonna really learn more about each other and become better. But nope, the entire third kind of plot of the movie is Bo Derek wants to get his dick to work again so they can have wonderful, amazing sex.
And I guess you could say also it did work.
I mean, yeah, it did work.
The
I
dick
mean,
did work.
yep, the dick did work by the end of the movie. But, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. We need to talk about what can arguably be the best part of the movie, where basically, once they leave the Sheik, it feels like, oh, they kind of didn't really do anything else with them. They just wanted that for the last. But it comes back around at, like, the third point of the movie, because the fucking Sheik sends men to Spain to fucking kidnap Bo Derek so he can bang her.
Yeah, he needs a second chance at the honey thing.
Yeah, he's just like, I died, but now I'm back. So,
Now, I got resurrected and I need to try this again.
we're gonna do it with cocoa butter this time. I'm not as deathly allergic to cocoa butter as I am to honey. Yeah, but they capture Bo Derek, and then her and her friends have to drive down to the beach where the plane is, and they beat up a bunch of the fucking all his men. But unfortunately, while Khan uses his superhuman strength to hold an entire plane back from fucking flying off, unfortunately he loses grip and they begin to fly away. And then Bo Derek's like, "But I'm not a virgin anymore." And he's like, "Oh, okay, whatever. I'll still bang you. I don't care. I don't need the gift." And then Bo Derek just goes, "You're nice and all, but I think I'm just gonna jump out of the plane." And then she just kind of flops out. We don't get a fun scene of her falling out and using the parachute or anything. It just hard cuts right before she falls out of the plane. So I'm just kind of assuming she just jumps out and just crashes under the earth and is just perfectly fine. And then
Yeah, that
that
would be pretty funny.
that would be pretty funny. But then the plot just kind of goes back to the dick don't work. Though, on an unintentional funny note, near the end of the movie, the Matador guy says, "Make me whole again." And I just recently played through, like, Dead Space, like the Dead Space remake, and that's, like, a big
Mm.
thing in the game is make us whole. I was like, whoa, wait a second here. And then they
Dead
have their
Space Bolero shared universe confirmed.
well, it didn't help that in their sex scene they end up in some foggy hellscape, which is pretty much where you end up at the end of the game in Dead Space. So it was like, oh my god, this does take place in Dead Space. In reality, Bo Derek and the Matador was actually Nicole and Isaac Clarke the whole time at the end of the game. Spoiler. And then, yep, they have rampant sex, and then they get married, and that's the whole movie. Cole, you took notes on this. What other things you got?
What else did it? I didn't honestly. I did not write as many notes. I was a little more bored with this one. I was like, what do I write other than just she wants to fuck, and that happens time and time again. Let's see. I think we talked about literally everything that I wrote down.
All right. Well, I mean, personally for me, I think the chic, like the beginning phase to the chic stuff, I think that all that was like comedy gold. I found that really funny. Then when we get the Matador stuff, it's all pretty boring for the most part, with a couple funny things. And then I feel like it kind of picks up at the end when the Sheik once again makes his return as now our, I guess, antagonistic force.
I actually did forget one thing. Did you like when the word ecstasy popped up when they were fucking at the end? And
Um,
she was like, ecstasy. But then
uh,
she kept thinking the whole time it was EX.
um, I didn't really have much thoughts on the ecstasy.
Mm.
I don't know. I was too busy being distracted by the hellscape to really be paying attention to what she was
Okay.
saying.
Yeah, it pulls like a real Lion King there where popped the word ecstasy like people were saying it popped sex on the Lion King in the whatever that was, the dandelion fluff.
Yeah, the SFX. So yeah, this is, and I think this was a generally entertaining movie overall. As I said, I think this is better than Ghost Can't Do It. This might, I don't know if it'll crack my top 10, but it's pretty up there. I feel like I can probably watch
Hmm.
Bolero again and have some fun with it. But clearly you think differently.
Nah, yeah.
But you know what? Maybe you'll change your tune when we discuss our next film,
Yes,
Cole.
Angry Joe's favorite movie.
I thought it was Superman.
Oh, I don't
Superman
know.
4, A Quest for Peace.
But no, it's not the quest for peace, it's Suicide Squad.
Yep. Please tell us, Cole. Tell us about the 2 hour long movie Suicide Squad.
Yeah, so Suicide Squad is a 2016 movie from David Ayer, and the whole movie basically surrounds us with the aforementioned Suicide Squad that are a team of criminals within the DC universe. So you got Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Diablo, Killer Croc, Captain Boomerang, and everybody's favorite, Slipknot, the man who can climb anything.
Yep.
And they have to go to Midway City for a mission where they're trying to check on. Oh, I forgot what it was. So they're like trying to complete some missions within the city, and what would happen is if they succeed, they get 10 years off of triple life sentences.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
I know, it's so helpful. But yeah, this is that one movie that also got a lot of people mad at Rotten Tomatoes because of all the negative reviews for it, and people signed petitions to get the site removed. And
Uh,
then obviously you have the Angry Joe version of saying how
no, you're
what is wrong with
nitpicking and
critics? That's an
biased.
awesome fucking movie.
No, you are nitpicking and biased. I win. Bye bye.
Yes, that is definitely what he sounded like there. But yeah, I mean, this is, I think, my third time seeing this. But Ninjedi, what did you think about it?
Oh, I thought it was mostly fucking boring and miserable and devoid of color, which is really weird considering how colorful the opening and endings of these films are. You think the actual movie would have more color in it.
No,
Hell, the fucking Steelbook 4K cover I have has more color than this entire fucking movie has.
it's so drab. I think that's the thing we both agree on. Like the color scheme, the obviously the editing too is pretty bad in some of these sequences.
Never get that fucking soundtrack.
Yes.
This is like the second worst use of a film soundtrack, like right behind the next 365 days. Because in the fucking Suicide Squad, they just keep putting music in where like you don't need it, and it's always this like big popular, so you can go, "Oh my god, I know that song."
I know it's like here's it's what I think they did is they basically took like a Spotify playlist, they copied that and they're like, okay, we're just gonna use all these songs in the movie somehow. And then yeah, like you said, it's just like, oh my god, I ever know this song. So then you'll get like Seven Nation Armies in there, Without Me by Eminem, uh Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. There's so much and it's like overkill.
Well, I know why they put so much music in the movie because they know they don't have it. People will notice, hey, the scenery really fucking boring and uninteresting shots. Something the Bolero did better.
Yeah. Yeah, but let's not keep beating around and let's try and get into whatever the plot of this is. The
Fucking
plot.
2 hours. 2 fucking hours, and that's just the normal cut.
The extended cut's only like it's about 10 minutes longer. I literally had to look stuff up to see what was different because when I was watching it, I had no clue what was different. It was basically, from what I was reading, it was just more extended scenes with added lines of dialogue and all that. Nothing like new scenes that I don't recognize from the original theatrical cut, and that's like it. It was just like extended scenes about stuff about how, oh boy. Actually, let me look this up again because there was one where yes, you can tell I'm so prepared for this.
No, don't worry. I'm sure I'm just as prepared for this discussion as you are.
Yeah, so basically, some of the added scenes are just like stuff about how just some discussions among some of like the Suicide Squad members with other members, and I guess David Ayer has a cameo in it too.
Is he
It's
the
nothing.
coveted Suicide Squad?
No, he's just one of the cops in the prison they're at.
No. Is he the
Yeah, it's
asshole cop?
no, he was just kind of in the background, really.
Uh, he wasn't an infomercial for an air fryer? Oh, wait, no.
No.
You haven't seen Knock at the Cabin. Spoilers.
Yeah. Ugh.
Just, like, forget it. Just forget about the
Okay.
reference. Just think about how miserable you were during Suicide Squad. I would say that I think Will Smith was, like, horribly miscast as Deadshot, or at least horribly directed as Deadshot, because well, I don't know. They like I feel like they really might make him like the cool, good kind of like good guy, good slash bad guy character, like the bad
Mm-hmm.
guy with a heart of gold and all that.
Yeah, but they don't do it well.
Like I don't know. Like I read the original Suicide like years ago, like a good chunk of them, and like I don't think like yeah, Deadshot did care about his daughter a lot. And that was kind of a key part of why he was kind of doing it, but I don't know. He was still kind of just an asshole. The whole thing, like Deadshot in this, isn't kind of an asshole. Like it's like whenever he's being like a jerk, he's like he has like some like validation to like be an asshole to someone, like because it's like oh they're doing something like shady or like wrong or they're just also being an asshole. So it's like, ugh.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also liked how he and Harley got like extended background scenes, and then Captain Boomerang, Killer Croc, they get these just super short ones. And then Slipknot, obviously the man who can climb anything, doesn't get anything.
Yeah, he has like no. He's only there to be killed to establish the
He's
level of
well, he's
stakes.
yeah, he's only there to just to show what those chips do.
And I feel like oh this is like a big thing that's like hanging over their heads, but it just feels like I don't feel that weight because oh let's just kill off this like one character that we showed practically nothing of. Let's just kill him off and then oh there we go, there's your stakes. Like if you
Yeah, he
want
had
me to be like
nothing.
damn, I hope that the Suicide Squad doesn't like get their like necks blown up. Why don't you try to give Slipknot like all the fucking Suicide Squad like the same level of fucking care and try to make us at least care for them to an extent to raise that stake. I mean, you have this 2 hour fucking movie and you can't do that for like every fucking character, really?
No, because you have to focus on a couple and that's it.
We can only focus on a Deadshot because we're going to have Deadshot in all these movies in the future. clearly.
Yeah, well, Deadshot and Harley.
Well, the Harley thing actually happened. She's been in like two more movies.
Hmm.
Jared
Yeah,
Leto's
she had like
Joker's
her own
never appeared.
solo, and then that thus, thankfully, the Suicide Squad that actually was good.
Like the Croc, he's pretty much pointless. He's just there to say a
He's
couple
just
lines and then to swim in the water.
yeah. Captain Boomerang's just there to, I don't know.
Captain Boomerang was like the best fucking character for me because at least he knew what he was. He was Captain Boomerang's just an asshole. He's like, and he acts like an asshole, and that's his whole character, and that was like the best part. He's one of the best characters, right up there with like Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo.
Diablo's great because he just wants no part in this, and he literally does nothing for like most of the movie until he gets bullied by fucking Will Smith into doing something. And then he does it just to be like, hey, Will Smith, fuck you. This is what my powers can do, bitch.
Yeah, and then he uses his powers again to drive that one big monster creature,
Into a corner
the witch brother, yeah, into the corner where a bomb's being set,
and blows up. Because I
and you're like,
guess
when he blows up, you're like, oh no, no, he was so
I
detrimental.
was like, no, you were like one of the more interesting characters. Ugh, god damn it.
Yeah, that's how I felt when Slipknot died. I was like, no, my favorite guy who can climb anything.
There's Harley Quinn. She's in this movie. And yeah, she acts like Harley Quinn. She acts
Yep.
crazy. Eh. The Jokah baby's in this movie, though.
Yeah,
And
the
he was the
Joker.
funniest scenes in the entire movie. Uh,
I'm trying to figure out what he was trying to do with his performance because there were times he almost sounded vaguely like both a 90s Jim Carrey, but also like Elvis Presley at the same time.
I think he was just trying to do like a Dark Knight Joker, but with his own spin on it.
That's what I was going to say, like some kind of like gothic spin on the Dark Knight Joker or whatever, where he's even more quote unquote sexy.
Here's a question for you. How much of you think Jared Leto's performance was his own idea, and how much of it was like the David Ayer going like, okay, this is how the Joker is supposed to act, okay? This is how you're supposed to do it.
I would say half and half.
Half and half.
I would say because I do think Jared Leto definitely had some bit. He wanted to put some kind of spin on it because I know there was some kind of behind the scenes thing where he was into his character acting and he would like
His
send the
method
co-stars like
acting, and he would be like a huge
dead
dick.
rats and like use condoms and all that shit.
Do you
And
think he used the condoms, or do you think he was just a little bitch and he just walked around like alleyways to find condoms?
I kind of like the latter because that would just be funny that you're just looking for condoms in an alleyway
He's
just to
just dressed up as the Joker looking for used condoms.
yeah.
I don't know. Jared Leto scenes were like probably the most entertainment I got from them because I would just go, "My father was a gamer." I would just be randomly quoting things, especially as you know, I took a quote from he says from the movie when he throws Harley Quinn into like the sewage water.
Oh yeah, that
I'm
yeah, even
surprised that the "Would you die for me? No, would you live for me?" It hasn't become a meme because that has its own joke potential.
yeah.
I mean, when
But
he's
even then too, I was even gonna say that when they do those like weird flashback scenes then in between the movie with Harley and the Joker, it just seems very out of place. It's like, okay, I get that Harley's like trying to remember, oh yeah, this is where I was with the Joker this night and this night, and it's like it doesn't work
I just
with
want
what it's trying to go for.
that's true. I mean, we get to see how when she transforms into Harley when she falls backwards into the vat of acid that also turned the Joker into the Joker, and he says the line of "Would you die for me? No, that's too easy. Would you poop your pants in public for me?" That's what I said when he said that line. That was the big funny joke for me. Would you send the feet pics for me? Yeah, I'm the Joker. I have damage over my forehead. That's how you know I'm edgy and cool. All the kids will go buy a Jared Leto damaged Hot Topic shirt. Ah,
And Harley Quinn and Joker are like the popular Halloween costumes also of 2016 also.
that, yeah, they were.
It was
Hashtag iconic. Hashtag damaged, am I right?
damaged. I
There's
mean,
like,
that was always the problem I had with the other Jokers. Like the animated Mark Hamill one, Joaquin Phoenix, Heath Ledger. I didn't know they were damaged if they didn't have damage tattooed on their forehead.
well, don't worry, they might fix that in Joker too, though.
Ooh. Joker 2,
The
I'm
first
the
scene,
Joker baby.
the first scene of the movie is Joker is Joaquin Phoenix just getting the tattoo of damage on his forearm, like an actual tattoo of damage. He's gonna show up at the Oscars when Joker 2 wins every award. It's just gonna say damage on his forehead. Let's see, we got a couple more characters left. Let's just speed run through them. We talked about all. We got Katana. She can cut through
Yes,
anything.
Katana. I would not advise getting cut by her sword. It traps the souls of its victims.
Chest swords of whoever she kills. Yeah, that's kind of just her whole character. She has
Yeah,
a
that's like the
sword
whole
and
thing.
she cuts things.
Oh, that's
And she
another thing
speaks
I also
Japanese.
yes. That was also a thing I noticed in the director's or the extended cut too. Apparently, an extended scene was Katana takes her mask off at like a scene or two.
Wait,
I know it adds so much to the movie.
but she takes off her mask in one of the scenes in the regular cut though.
Oh wait, she did.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll be honest. It's been like a couple years since
I
I've seen the theatrical cut.
I
So,
think she does it when she talks to the sword, kind of nearing the end of the
oh, there's
movie.
another scene too. She like takes it off also, and
Yeah, it's probably just more of it, but it's
Mhm.
not exclusive to the extended cut.
That's what I meant. Actually, it was just that there was like another scene or two without the talking to this sword that
We also
she
have
used.
the Rain. Oh, sorry, you're still talking about Samurai. I forgot
Yeah,
her
I'm
name
talking about
already.
Katana.
Katana, right?
Yeah, that was like about it.
Oh, okay. We have what Sergeant Rain or whatever his name
Rick
is.
Flag.
Yeah, Rip Flag, and he's basically Amanda Waller's like lapdog, pretty much. He just does the
Hmm.
orders. He's banging the main antagonist of the movie.
The Enchantress, Dr. June Moore.
Yeah, his whole
Well, she's
thing.
an archaeologist who got a witch stuck inside her.
Yep. Because she fell down a hole, and clearly her first instinct was, I'm going to break this thing that's on this pedestal that's surrounded by skulls.
Yeah, that's no red flags at all.
She clearly falls down the pit. You would think she would have like stayed and waited for like rescue or someone to come get her, because I don't think she was by herself when that happened.
I don't think so. I would definitely assume that there was like some kind of
Like
team there while she was there as well.
maybe they all died. That's why like beforehand, before she went down the hole.
Mm.
Maybe they all fall down a separate hole the same way. And every time someone else went down a different hole, it's like, well, that's not going to happen to me. And then it just keeps happening. And then there's like a
And then
domino
keeps
effect.
happening.
And then June's like, okay, like the first like 20 people that fell down 20 different holes, that was all coincidences. Okay, I'm going to be more careful this time. And then she fell, and it worked because she didn't die when she fell down the fucking hole.
Mm.
She only fell like halfway, so she was able to survive.
Okay.
She's like, oh, I get the problem. See, I'm supposed to actually clip into the harness. That's why everyone else fell in. They weren't wearing it.
Yeah, what an
Oh,
idiot.
what a big dummies. Haha. Guess we
Ha
shouldn't
ha
have
ha.
skipped that rappelling class. And I guess yeah, there's Flag, and he's just kind of this asshole guy who wants to save his girlfriend and does other things. There's the Enchantress, who is the main villain, who brings her brother like to life, and
Through a dude,
they're gonna destroy everything, take over the world.
through a
There's
sky cloud.
yeah, Sky Cloud with a bunch of
Because that was
stuff.
a very common thing in superhero movies in the 2010s, the sky cloud.
Yeah, big Sky Cloud, energy beam, all that fun stuff, lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have your favorite character, Amanda Waller.
Oh yeah. I honestly think she is the worst.
Even worse than the Jokah baby.
I would say the Joker is a worse performed character, but I think Amanda Waller is the worst written one.
Her whole thing is like, I am a badass. I work. I'm doing the. We need the
I'm
worst
sending
people.
villains out instead of our heroes. because that's gonna be such a good idea.
Yeah, it's such a good idea. I mean, clearly it was working out from like the Enchantress. They clearly
Uh-huh.
didn't go wrong. Literally like 10 seconds after you said, "Oh yeah, this is gonna totally work, guys. Watch."
Oh yeah, totally. It totally all worked out as well.
It's like, yo, bro, I'm just gonna put a bomb in her heart in a fucking suitcase, and then we're gonna be totally fine, guys. We're totally gonna have her under control. There's clearly nothing else can go wrong. Oops, she released her brother, and her brother gained a ton of power, and then she was able to stop,
And massacres portion of the city.
like, literally everyone. And she's like, haha, oops, so clumsy. Aha, ooh, silly me.
And then
Anyway,
like
you guys need to
after
come
they
save me.
even succeed the mission, like they stop the evil space beam cloud, she's still like about to pull the trigger on their chips. And then they talk to the demand. She's like, "Oh, okay."
Whatever. When Will Smith gets a one up on her and it feels satisfying, you know
Mm,
that ain't good. I mean, granted, you're
no.
not supposed to like Waller. I don't think that's what they were going for.
Mm-hmm.
Because Waller does kind of suck a little in the Suicide Squad too. In
Oh yeah, she's
the comic,
not.
as I
She's
remember,
bad in that too.
she's pretty evil in that as well. But you know, that's just kind of the thing. All the characters are pretty. Like our best are like slightly interesting, and at worst are just fucking awful.
Mm-hmm.
All the action scenes suck too. There's no real sense of stakes. Like here's the thing, none of the Suicide Squad actually die from like the actual antagonists until like
No.
the big climactic fight scene where it was like self-sacrifice from Diablo, and that's actually it. Only like two people die on the Suicide
Yeah,
Squad.
we can rip
Slipknot,
her heart out.
only two people die. Suicide Squad members die. Slipknot at the beginning to try to
The man
establish
who
a
can
level of
climb
stakes.
anything.
The man who can climb anything, and Diablo with the self-sacrifice. And no one else on the Suicide Squad dies.
No. And did you also like that build of Deadshot's character where Rick Flag just like kept letters from his daughter to him? And was
No.
just like, "Oh yeah, your daughter writes to you every day."
Oh yeah, that kind of just completely slipped my mind. I didn't.
And then he's like, "I mean, I know I gave up, but now we go back because I want her to know her dad's not a piece of shit." Like that turns you that quickly? Like did you forget about that too when you guys walked over to that hotel bar?
Did you forget that you fucking tried to kill Batman right in front of your daughter? You didn't think like that might have affected her opinion on you a little? Dad, mommy says you kill people. No,
No,
that's wrong.
mom's
She's
wrong.
lying.
What the fuck do you think she means by that?
That is cringe, and I will not allow my daughter to be that.
And then here's me holding the gun about to shoot Batman, but my daughter's in the way.
Hey me, Batman! I got you, Deadshot. I'm gonna get you. That's my Batman impression. Pretty good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh man, when did you get Ben Affleck in here?
Yeah, Ben Affleck, secret guest. Ooh,
Yeah, that's me. I was Ben Affleck the whole time. I was acting.
acting.
Acting. Yeah, that's how good I am.
I mean, you could say that's what Jared Leto did
Yep.
too, but
Jared Leto definitely act. I don't know. Maybe if he morbed all over the place in his like
I was about to
final
say, like,
climactic scene, maybe this would be a better
thank
movie.
thank goodness he became Morbius after.
Yep. Hashtag Morbius sweet baby. Let's go. Morbius for best picture. Morbius for best actor. Morbius for
Morbius
best
for
foreign
best
film.
international feature.
Yeah. Morbius for best
Morbius for
animated
best
short.
documentary short.
Morbius for costume design.
Morbius for documentary.
Mor
Morbius for live action short.
Yeah, Morbius for the Lifetime Achievement Award. Why not? Honorary Lifetime Achievement Award.
Morbius for best movie of the decade.
Yep. Morbius for best movie of the century. Put Morbius in the fucking the Congress Hall of Movies or whatever it's
Oh,
called.
Congress Hall of Movie. Yeah, I forgot what exactly it's called too.
This film's really
But yeah,
long. The
that.
fight scenes are really boring. The antagonist minion guys aren't really cool. They're just a thing with a bunch of eyes.
Yeah, they just look like globs of clay with rocks put on them.
They try to be like, oh, they're like almost indestructible because their bullets don't work, but then you just have to shoot them in the head, I guess. And then
Yeah,
that's just how you defeat them. They're just
yeah,
zombies, pretty much.
some kind of damage to the head. that flex tape can't even fix.
Honestly, at that point, if you have these dumb gravel guys, why not just make them fucking zombies at that point? Because at least that would probably be more scary looking than whatever these like gravel monsters.
Yeah, I was never terrified of what these things were.
It's
They
like,
were
oh my god, they have like
just
more
like
than two
goofy.
eyes, so scary.
Ooh, think about the children though.
We gotta make this PG-13. We need to get as many people to come to this movie.
Even
Yep,
babies.
even the Goo Goo Gaga BB.
Yeah, we made this movie for babies so that Jared Leto could win an Oscar
Yep.
again.
Do you think did Jared Leto win an Oscar?
Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh, I didn't know that. Then again, I didn't watch Dallas Buyers Club, so hey, maybe he's really good. He should win it for other than Morbius. He should win it
Morbius.
for a House of Gucky. When he made that
When he looked
car
like
honk
Waluigi.
nose. Yep.
Yeah, he looks like out of shape, overweight Waluigi.
So Wario.
No, but he was wearing more purple.
Oh, okay.
Wario's purple and yellow.
That's fair. Uh, Here's a question for you. Do you think this film would have been better if they put in the effort to make it rated R?
Uh, I wouldn't put that against them, but I feel like they were trying to make it like PG-13 somehow.
Maybe it's like in
Just so they could get
like
more asses in seats.
maybe because Will Smith at like this point in his career was probably more known for more family friendly kind of stuff, or like things you can probably watch with like your kids. So they might have been like, let's make it those like PG-13. We'll have Will Smith. We'll make it PG-13, and we'll get more like maybe families to come because they'll go, oh, Will
Mm-hmm.
Smith's in this movie. I think if they went harder into making this more of an R-rated film, it would probably be better. I don't know by how much, but it'd probably be at least better off because it's the Suicide Squad. You have a film called The Suicide Squad, and you're gonna make it PG-13.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's honestly why James Gunn kind of saved it. It seemed he also had a lot more creative freedom and control, maybe compared to Air, because there might have been studio interference, I
Interference.
think, with how they wanted the movie to play out. Or
James Gunn made the executive watch Tromeo and Juliet, which he like written, and they're like, "Damn, yeah, we can trust this guy with an entire movie. Here we go, greenlight everything he does." The problem with this film is that the Joker doesn't say we live in a society in it.
no, he does.
If he did, instant
Did the
10
Heath
out of
Ledger
10.
Joker say that though?
Yeah, Heath Ledger's
Oh,
Joker.
he
I feel like,
does.
yeah, I think that's where it originated from.
Okay, it's been a while since I've seen Dark Knight,
I had
so.
never seen The Dark Knight, but I know I'm pretty sure he says the line. And then Joaquin Phoenix says it in Joker.
And then that became like the biggest meme of the year.
Yeah, and then I mean Jared Leto did say it apparently in the Zack Snyder Justice League movie.
Yeah, I think they only did that just because of the meme. Like, legitimately.
I love it when we can fucking bully people into putting a meme into the movie, the Joker meme
Uh-huh.
into the movie.
Yeah, and even speaking of the Snyder Cut, yeah, you know how like people were so enamored by the Snyder Cut because it was just a less shitty version of the Justice League movie?
I think it was more people were like intrigued by it because the cut was changed because the original version of the movie was cut up because Zack Snyder left because of a horrible tragedy, and then
Yep.
they got Joss Whedon to come in and like fix everything up,
And
fix
then that
everything.
definitely led to, yeah,
And then
fix.
of course that leads to people going,
Do you
well,
know the
what was the
studio was
original
fucking with
cut doing?
it too?
Like, I know it's easy to shit on like Zack Snyder's Justice League original version, but at least I can understand why people want to see it because if you hear, oh, this isn't like Zack Snyder's like main idea, they brought in someone else to change everything up, you would kind of be like, well, what was the original cut like? It's kind of like the director's cut. Like people go like, oh, this one's been affected by the studio. What is the director's intended version? I think there's still like an interest like for that. I get it,
Yeah,
but
I just
keep going.
don't know how a David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad would help the movie in any way
It's
because
just
I
all
don't think
Joker
Zack
scenes.
Snyder's Justice League was that good.
Like all the suicide scenes are cut out. It's just a Jared Leto Joker movie starring the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it's all Jared Leto and then Harley Quinn.
Yep. He says we live in a society. He morbs. He does all of that.
No, and then the climactic fight scene is the Joker versus Morbius.
Yeah. Like multiverse kicks in, like like a Doctor Strange portal opens up,
Yeah.
Morbius steps through and goes, "It's Morbin
Morbin
time."
time. Now that would be a movie.
Yeah, finally, David Ayer, get on it. I'm hyped. I'm sold. I'm sold on this. I'm ready for the Ayer cut. Let's do this, baby.
It's just memes. The whole there's no structure or flow. It's just a compilation of memes.
I'm looking forward to it. Put in Mimey, do would you poop your pants in public for me? Put that in there, David Ayer. Just go all out on this. Anything else left to say about Suicide Squad?
What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad?
He said the line. Oh my
Did you have your
god.
Leo moment when he said that? You're like, there it is.
I couldn't have it as much because I went, oh god, I have to decide what I'm gonna if that's what I'm gonna say for the intro. Do I go for the easy route or do I go out of my way and do the Angry Joe Schmo show route? Instead, I did my own thing, and that's why no one's watching this episode right now because they all left because I didn't do the intro they wanted.
Well, I think I made up for it and I did it a little.
And it's too little, too late. You should have said it. You should have cut me off and name dropped it right then and there. Oh well, maybe next time.
Oh well.
But yeah, yeah. Now that you
Yeah,
said the
anything
line,
else?
I think that's really it. It's 2 hours
Okay.
wasted.
2 hours of boring, drab, colorless, lifeless
Cole,
shit.
why do you keep recommending these 2 hour long movies?
Because
You don't
it
see me going like, ooh, let's fucking watch, I don't know, whatever fucking gobbledygook. In
I think
fact,
you'll like
I'm
what I
actually gonna
I think you'll like
fucking,
what I picked next.
I'm gonna fucking pop up, I'm gonna organize the list of like longest fucking movies just to rag on you even more. So let's see. So yeah, Southland Tales, Kissing Booth 2, Suicide Squad. The top three longest movies are all yours. And then we have the one
Hey.
outlier of mine, which is That's My Boy, which is almost 2 hours long. So you got
I
me
kind
there.
of forget that that one was almost 2 hours.
But then next up, we got the Kissing Booth 3, then Billionaire Boys Club, which also kind of eked their way
Oh,
into
Kevin
the
Spacey's Billion Boys
the
Club.
Kevin Spacey's Billionaires Boys Club. Like the top five films of of fucking Nefarious Reels in the length, 4 out of 5 of them are yours, Cole. Like, god damn, man. But yep, there we go. That was Suicide Squad and Bolero. Now that that discussion's done and over with, this is the part where we pick which one is the better one of the two. Cole, which of these two films do you think was better?
I would say I'm more bored by it, but probably Bolero.
Well, I disagree with you on it being more boring, but I do think Bolero was definitely funnier. I enjoyed it more. I mean, clearly, I've sung more of its
It,
praises than I did fucking Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad needed more morbing.
Look, I think just even if they were both really boring, just the fact that Bolero is like 30 minutes shorter just and has more color by default.
More
It's a
color.
look, the fact that Bolero is arguably more stimulating than the fucking superhero action movie clearly speaks volumes on the quality Suicide Squad is.
Mm,
But yeah, I'm also giving it to Bolero, so that's a point for me. I think I've just retook the lead, baby. I'm back on top
let's check.
because I think it was tied because we were 5-5 and we had that tie last episode.
Yes,
So now I'm finally above you. I finally retook the lead after like five, like 6 or 7 episodes.
I would say so. And Retro sneaks in too
Yep, another point
with
for
another.
retro. Good for the retro pick. But yeah, Suicide Squad sucks. I need to watch the Suicide Squad
That
later.
one's actually good.
Yep. But with that out of the way, now we can move on to questions. Remember to ask them, folks, or else, we can't answer them.
Or we can't morb.
You can't morb them. So we'll start with our first question from Mattias. Do you play any fighting games? And if so, what games and who are your mains?
I don't play that many fighting games. I mean, I did play Mortal Kombat X for like a little bit once on the PS4.
And who'd you play as?
Oh God. I mean, I kind of varied among the characters, I would say. I don't even remember who I exactly used the most, but I I might have just went generic and did like Scorpion and Sub Zero, I think it was.
All right. Back in high school, I played a bit of Street Fighter Cross Tekken because my friend had it, and I usually
Mm.
mained as Poison because she was hot. That was really it. That was my main criteria for those kinds of fighting
The
games.
main reason.
Yeah, if you're hot, I'll pick you. I played a lot of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I played a lot of
Oh, I've
Super
definitely
Smash
played some
Bros.
Smash
In general.
Brothers.
Like I played for a lot in high school and college, and I usually main as Game and Watch because he's just this
Mm.
funny little dude, and he's got a hammer attack that can like kill people pretty much instantly if you get it lucky enough. Then when because that was when Brawl was in it when I was playing with a friend. Then when four went around, I still played as Game and Watch, but I also played as Pac Man because Pac Man was this goofy ass character. And I was like, what the fuck, Pac Man? I gotta main that guy. And that was pretty fun. And then when Ultimate came out, which I played a ton of at the time, once again, still my mains were uh, Game and Watch. I still played Pac Man, and none of the really new characters really caught my attention. But then when the DLC Pass 2 came out, Minecraft Steve came out, baby, and I'm like, damn, I gotta main Minecraft Steve because that's fucking hilarious that he's in it. And people were really upset that he took a spot, and I thought that was funny, so I had to main him.
It's funny.
It was funny. And those were my mains in Smash Brothers. And that's really it. Those were the only really fighting games I got
Yeah,
into
I
for that
really
time
don't
period.
play many fighting games. I just play other stuff.
Yep, that's fair. That's a fair assessment. Next question we got is from Tom. Are there any movie scores you love that you can only listen to within the context of the film, meaning you wouldn't listen to it in isolation? Suicide Squad,
Ooh.
baby. Yeah, that fucking soundtrack. They have all the best songs.
They got all the songs.
I mean, I definitely don't think I can ever listen to any song that was shown in there ever again. So I guess in the way I can only now enjoy them from that movie now because it ruined it.
Ooh, I'm trying to think. I mean, I try to with some of the soundtracks. Like, make like a Spotify. I have like a Spotify playlist where it's just music from like movies and like TV shows. One I think I have to listen to within the context of the movies. Only Nicholas Winning reference Only God Forgives,
All
just
right,
with how some of the songs in each scenes kind of adds on a little more to them.
all
I
right.
would say.
I don't really have a thing. Like I usually don't go out of my way to listen to like movie soundtracks unless it really stands out to me. Like I said, the Hausu soundtrack I love, and
I
I've
do
listened
like
to
that.
it outside it multiple
I've
times.
listened to it. I do like it.
Yeah, it's really good. But I never really like go out of my way to go like, ooh, I want to listen to this movie soundtrack. Not in like to insult any movies because a lot of movies have good music, but it's kind of a thing where it's like if they just take like music from like an existing artist, it's like, oh, I can just like if I hear it, I'll be like, oh, hey, that's from like that movie. Like it's usually its own individual thing. And then films that have good soundtracks they made on their own, it's kind of a thing where yeah, maybe it's arguably best experience just in the movie. Like I'm not gonna go out of my way to go like, oh yeah, I should like watch that soundtrack. Like I should listen to that movie soundtrack. I'm just gonna listen into the movie. I don't really have like a specific example I can think of that though.
I'm just trying to look through some of my playlists, and I would even say it sounds a little generic, but the Star Wars soundtrack too at times, depending on which movie you're watching, kind of you need the context with the scenes to have the score playing and knowing what's going on, especially with like the theme. And I think Revenge of the Sith has my favorite, probably with some of the scenes with how the music kind of adds on to it from John Williams.
I don't know. I think we might have effectively answered that question.
Oh, I got one more.
Oh,
Under the
one more.
Skin too. Under the Skin.
Oh yeah, you're a huge fan of
I
that
mean, like,
movie.
yeah, like one of my favorite movies. The soundtrack in that one is, in the context of the movie, it's like beautiful but haunting at the same time.
Actually, I have a movie that with a soundtrack that I can only like listen to in the context of the film. My Stepbrother's a Vampire. Dancer, 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 dance, dance. The night
I should
dancer,
have expected
dancer,
that, but I
dancer,
wasn't at
dance,
the same
feeling
time.
all right. I mean, at least I had an answer that isn't
Yeah, you
just
did.
all right. Next question from JJ. Here's a simple one. How was your day? Well, it's currently 11 in the morning. I woke up a bit early so to get ready for this podcast discussion, and I have to go into work in a couple hours. So,
Same.
could be better. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, it's one where I am, and I slept until about 11 this morning, so
Yeah,
I feel rested.
I'm 2 hours behind you, so I didn't get that luxury. Uh, yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I got a 7 hour shift coming up, and it's gonna stink because the fucking Super Bowl is coming up, and I know we're gonna
Oh,
get
yeah.
really busy. It doesn't. It's a weekend, which is usually busy.
Oh, yeah, and I work at Buffalo Wild Wings, so it's sports bar. So
Oh,
yeah, right now Super Bowl coming up, and
yeah. Your
they're trying
Sunday
to get
is gonna suck.
stuff. Mm-hmm. Well, here's the worst thing too. I have to close tonight, but then I have to come back in at noon
Ugh. Well, when do you
tomorrow morning,
close?
midnight.
It sucks.
Yeah, sleep is gonna suck.
Good thing the question is, how is your weekend going? All right, we got one more question, also from
Okay.
Mattias. This one is a bit of a deep one. How would you define art?
Uh, hmm. Wait, what was it? Like, how do you define art?
Yes, how would you define art?
Oh boy.
I guess
I
the best way I could describe it for me would be art is something that's like made with intent. And while that intent doesn't necessarily have to be specifically making art, you can still, you know, derive if it's made with intent and you can derive it into like a sense of art. Like nature. Nature isn't made specifically to be beautiful. It's basically there to thrive. It's its own ecosystem. Yet you can still take in the beauty and say, "Hey, like this is like a work of art in and of itself." Life in itself is kind of art because it is kind of the act of living out like a life through this stretch of time. A photograph is basically just a picture in a sense. Like if you see something beautiful, that in and of itself is art. You take a photo, you're taking a photo of art itself, and the photography itself is in itself art. Take a shot every single time I say art as I'm weirdly describing this.
I think it'd be blacked out by now.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, even in a sense of intent, even if a film is just made to make money, it still can be have art in maybe its performances or maybe how you feel on it. Even a bad movie is art in of a way because you can at least learn from it of its terribleness or maybe find your own enjoyment of it. In a sense, and the question itself, can anything be art? I don't think not everything can be art, but anything can be art in a sense.
Okay.
I don't know. This is me. Maybe I'm just sounding like a big doofus trying to sound smart, but that's just kind of how I feel like I can interpret it.
I I don't know. I kind of agree with that. It's like there has to be some kind of purpose to what's being made, or some kind of thought and effort on what you're trying to present, I guess you could say, too, with whatever you're making. Yeah, I don't know how to exactly explain this one. This is a little,
A little too deep for a bad movie podcast.
yeah, a little too deep on an early Saturday right now.
You're gonna have to down like 3 more beers before you can like really answer this question.
Yeah, get a little more intoxicated, and then maybe it'll open my third eye up.
Yeah, then you'll get philosophical. I don't know. You can just mooch off my answer. You can say I agree with your answer, and then be like nice.
Yeah, I would agree with that too, though. Honestly.
All right, with that, that's all our questions. This is a really short episode. We've only been going for like an hour eight. But then again, we were talking about Bolero, which is a very straightforward movie that
With not much to
it's
talk
just
about. And
basically Bolero wants to no. Joe Derek wants to bang someone and
Bo
then she
Derek?
does. Yeah, Bo Derek.
You
That's
said
the
Joe.
No, I said Bo Derek. That's the actress's name. Bo Derek. And then Suicide Squad is just a bunch of 2 hour gobbledygook nonsense bullshittery boring ass movie that fucking sucks dick. He didn't even morb. But yeah, we keep getting these short discussions. We're gonna really have to try to knock it out of the park with these next recommendations. But speaking of
Mm-hmm.
next recommendations, Cole, it's your turn to do the retro pick.
Okay, so I had a couple of ideas for the retro pick. I had to look through both my watch lists. I was looking at some like anti letterbox bottom 250s. I was even just looking at like, stuff from like Red Letter Media, best of the worst. But then I was looking at riff tracks, seeing what kind of movies they were talking about at points. And I had this on my watch list like a month ago, maybe. So the movie we are doing is Roller Gator from 1996.
Oh, Roller Gator, baby. This one's gonna be interesting. I've seen Roller Gator, so I'm interested in this discussion. I'm gonna try to get my hands on a DVD copy. I know they exist somewhere.
They do? Oh my god.
Yeah, I think I can probably find one and hopefully get it before the
Hmm.
next episode.
Okay.
All right, but now it's time for the modern pick. And I had
Oh,
one
here we
in
go.
mind, but it actually changed when you recommended Suicide Squad last week, because then I had a better idea, so I had to do a last minute change.
Oh,
So I hope you're excited for this one as I am. We're gonna do 2016's Sinister Squad.
what?
Yep, the Asylum rip-off Suicide Squad movie.
Oh my god.
It's real. It exists, and
Yep,
we're
I
gonna
just
watch it.
found it. Oh my word.
Be excited. And guess what? It's only 90 minutes. So already
Both of these movies are 90 minutes or less.
by default, Sinister Squad is already better than Suicide Squad. But if you don't want to be spoiled for Roller Gator or Sinister Squad, how about checking those movies out for the next episode? And hey, remember to ask us questions too so we can answer them. And like and subscribe and all that gobbledygook dumb stuff. And you guys all have a good day and a happy Morbius.
Happy Morbius, happy
Hash-
Joker.
hashtag damaged. Uh,
Hashtag release the fart cut, Richard.
hashtag we live in a society.
Hashtag don't release the David Ayer cut, but
Ha-
do at the same time.
hashtag Morbius sweet.
Hashtag Morbius versus Joker.
Hashtag will you die for me? No, that's too easy. Hashtag will you poop your pants for me? Bye bye.
Bye.